Hi, this is Greg. I'd like to welcome everybody back to week 3 of the Descent board with Hirst molds. At the end of week 2, I said my goal was to try to get everything cast, so that we're done. And I'm happy to say it was late last night when I finished up, but everything is done. So all the pieces are cast. In front of you, what you're seeing is just a group of doors. I finished up with the detail pieces, so I'll probably show the detail pieces on there. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to kind of review everything that's in the completed project, and we'll look at a few of the pieces of each type, and then I'll take a break and I'll set up and we'll start painting. So maybe this week we can actually get, I don't know about getting the whole thing painted, but I think we can get quite a bit of this project painted. So if you look down here on my board, you can see some of the final detail pieces that I finished up last night. Some of these pieces include, you've got the well, and you have the block pit, our coin piles. I think I've showed these before. These are your single rubble piles. This is a 2 square rubble pile, a 3 square rubble pile, and another 2 square. So I'm going to get down closer on these. So when these came out, you can see that they're just built from different types of the stones, and I followed Bruce's instructions pretty much to the letter on assembling, and there was a good reason for doing that, because when it was all said and done, I had exactly the correct amount of blocks I needed for some of these pieces, to be put together. So when he says cast this mold 24 times and this mold 30 times, that when you follow those plans, those blocks are all being used. So there's a few places I put in a different block here and there, and when it came down to the end, it was exactly what I needed. So like I said, our cone piles, our square pit, our round pit, and then this right here is going to be a bridge stanchion. The ropes are going to hook on here, and then they're going to go across, and they're going to hook to this other piece somewhere else on another board. And in between there, I believe it's a 7-inch long bridge, and that bridge will have the wooden planks, and they'll be 2 by 2, to represent 1 inch of movement going across that board. This is a gate that was built. Now this isn't completed yet. I've got to paint the planks, and I'm going to glue those on each side of where you see those pegs are. So it'll be like the wooden boards will go up on each one of those 5 pegs, and that'll cover that. But I kind of like this. I think I'm going to reproduce this into some longer pieces, because this would look good out on a war machine table. So I was looking at this last night, and I was checking the size, and the size works out real well. More of the upgraded chests that I call them. These are not the one. These come from the cavern floor accessory mold. I think I like this chest better, so I'm going to use that for this board. And then we have the troll throne, which is just made up. More Hirst blocks. And all the stuff that's over here is all mounted on cereal box. Some of it's on cereal box. Some of this is on an old Hordes packaging. I just cut that out and put it on there. So you don't want to use the cork board on these items here. And then here was the last 4 T sections that I needed to do. So that's why they're here. The arches are glued together and ready to paint. The columns are ready to go to paint. So right now everything's pretty much ready to go on the accessory front. So I'm going to slide this out of the way for a second. And then what I've done is, here's a 5 hallway. And there's another one. 3, 4 of those are done. And then this is a 4 by 6. We've done 2 of those. Correction, we have done 4 of those. 4x4s. I'm going to pick this up. I think I have a few of those in here. 3. That was 3 of the 4x4s. T intersections. Oh, there's another 4x4. 2x4 hallways. Two of the 6x6s. These are large. And again, in the middle here is where the wood planking is going to go. And then I have a whole stack of 2x2s. These are some extras. Those are the large pieces. That's all that was left after this project was done of the larger pieces. This piece right here will have a rope going across, and it will have the wooden plankings on here, so all this will be a void, so that'll force the heroes to come across this part of the bridge. Lots of L sections. More L sections. More 4x2s. And then also in here, I have a ton of these 2x2s. So I'm not going to drag every one of these out right now. All I know is you've got this many more in the box. I'm just kind of storing everything in a priority mailbox right now. But when it's all said and done, you know, this is a complete cast for the base set of the Descent board game. I talked about leftovers. So after over 50 casts of the 2 molds required to make the board, that is all that's left. There's a whole bunch of chests up here in the corner because I didn't use those chests. The wooden planks, that pile is going to go down because I'm going to paint those up and we're going to use those. But everything else in here is leftover. So I had one leftover 2-section block there, one of this type, you know, so it's pretty exacting when it comes down to how many pieces you're going to need. You know, I came down to one of these, you know, and those small ones are what are on the column. You know, that's, you got 2 on each of those columns, so I was getting a little worried when I got down to the end that, uh-oh, I'm going to run out of pieces. And then the other box that I had here is the cavern floor accessory mold. And this is where the premium chests came out of. And I've been using some of these pieces for War Machine and stuff like that. So this one will get cast up some more. But that's it. So with that said, I'm going to stop this part of the video right here. And we will set up the table for some painting. And I've got the paint. And we'll paint a couple of these pieces and put the base coats down and see how it goes. I'll be right back.